All right, who's ready for some pandemonium? All right, so I cool whipped up this little tale about Deborah, a petite young woman, little Debbie to all of her friends, who turned to being a call girl to making ends meet. Originally a shoemaker, she gave up on being a cobbler to pursue other appetites. She'd often enter men's bathrooms trying to catch a peek. She would Twizzler her hair around her lady finger, nervous of being caught. She'd even peer under the stalls, just trying to catch a glimpse of those men's toes. One day, I went with her to buy a new car from dealer Angel Ramirez. As we pulled into Angel Auto Shop, she turned down Eminem's hit on the radio to tell me her latest feat. She whispered in my ear, she promised me to not tell a soul about it. You blueberry ice cream? Shh, my friend Reese is also shocked. I tried to make light and use my good humor to snicker at the situation. I assured her this was betwixt us. Well, her friend Faye came to the auto shop for support after playing a round of golf. Wasn't a big fan of Faye, kind of found her off-putting. But being polite, I asked her, how was golf? I shot par, Faye exclaimed. Then she quickly ran off after being called into work since it was payday. Well, since Debbie's brother Melvin had a nice BMW, she decided to get the exact same car Mel had. She kept an original key and gave me a Twinkie for backup. Since I knew she liked to garden on the weekends to relax, that Sunday, I went to her house on Fifth Avenue. She was actually gardening with her top off, a sight that would make her grandmother turn over in her grave. Her breasts had an incredible Milky Way about them. Lucky for her, it was nice out because the forecast had called for sprinkles. She had apparently sat in some sap. Amazing that those sticky buns could occupy those tight shorts. Seeing her like that made me want to hold her in my nestly little arms. But my mouth was agape watching that ho-ho. She used rarer tools. She would pop sickle after sickle out of her garage. When she got up from gardening, I realized she had a brown knee. Well, she asked me inside and offered me a drink, but her scotch was always poor quality. She told me she knew it was the last straw, Barry's shorts caked in whatchamacallit. She'd actually spit the evidence inside a Hostess cup at the restaurant. It was appalling to see the Hostess cupcaked in that. An hour later, she was offered $100,000 to Licorice Guy's cannoli. Quite apparent, this new star burst on the scene quite quickly. My, how things have changed since those times last year when we were smoking weed in Juneau, getting baked in Alaska. But she didn't want me to misconstrue what she was telling me. She would just chalk a lot of this up to her hungry libido. Still, hearing all this was bananas. Foster, her father, certainly wouldn't approve. Sorry, 1 second. Oops. Okay. I was just making sure the paper's okay. Donut hurt to see me like this? Could you see this coming? How could I see this coming? I'm not clairvoyant, I retort. Well, Mr. Smarty Pants, to help with my dough, I do have a new pimp, Geo. I ask how his name is spelled, with an I-O or E-O? Turns out it was Y-O. He would Nabisco workers attempt to be unique and spell it differently. His pimp buddy Herschel Estevez insisted on being called Hershey. Quite the ladies' man, all the girls were always vying for Hershey's kisses. Well, with her new score, she was already enjoying her profits and brought a brand new Coco Chanel bag. No matter how much she bought, she always wanted some more. But today she was acting like a hot tamale after some money was missing. Her neighbors, Mike and Ike, had a curious kitten named Annette that was always stealing her belongings. I told her I doubt anyone's ever witnessed a Cadbury money before, especially not mounds of it. But she was convinced that they planned to raise Annette to rob her all along. I told her I was more convinced it was her roommate, Bert, that was the culprit. I was always sure Bert was up to no good. Well, that offended her. And after that, she just told me, skittle-daddle and be on your way. Well, that made my juju beeline for the door. I was younger than her, and being her junior meant I should probably concede. I just felt bad seeing her in this special dark place going down this rocky road. But I respected her wishes, and with a sinking feeling in my heart, I deserted little Debbie. The end of our friendship was bittersweet.